got a question for you. What is something you can't taste, you can't touch, and you can't smell, yet you can still enjoy? Let's see. You say I can't taste it. Right. And I can't touch it. Right. And I can't smell it. But I can still enjoy it? Yep. What could that be? Give it some thought. Ha-ha! Mobile entertainment! Ding, ding, ding! You're right! Not that kind of mobile entertainment.
DJ Baseball. Hit it, man!
Yes, the mobile entertainment we're talking about today is the mobile disc jockey. It wasn't long ago that your only option as a disc jockey was your album collection, your LPs, your stacks of wax. But you see, this vinyl collection of yours became a little bit more cumbersome than a lot of people were able to accept. They were not very accommodating to extreme temperatures or conditions. They were quite bulky, and the collection sizes grew over the years, from just a few records on a shelf in your living room to amassing an entire shelf in your office or a couple of shelves to filling an entire room. So that posed a problem. When you had an event with LPs or your album collection, you had to select your favorites that you would bring with you and put them into a crate. Sometimes it was a milk crate from your local grocery store or supermarket. But again, it was only a small representation, usually, of your entire library. Then there was cassette tapes, but they never really took off because the amount of time that you've taken to switch back and forth cassette tapes and search through them, trying to find that one song, stopping, rewinding, fast forwarding. You had enough time to paint a picture of your favorite artist with the tape that was inside of the case itself. So then CDs came along. They were great, small, compact. You could find the songs really fast. But again, they were a little bit bulky. You can only really carry about 300 of your favorite CDs around without breaking your back or amassing some sort of a dolly wheel system to drag your CD collection into an event. Luckily, we're in the digital age, and now we don't have to worry about lugging around big, bulky crates of a small portion of our record collection, fumbling with cassette tapes, or even dealing with CDs anymore. Now with a product the same size as your cell phone, you can carry tens of thousands of your favorite songs. Maybe your entire music library, all on an external USB hard drive that'll fit in your back pocket. Having your music library digitized and on an external hard drive such as this can feel a little frustrating for some people. If you're feeling some anxieties right now on how do I get my records onto this or how do I get my CDs onto this, you need not worry. We've got plenty of videos here on Interface that talk about converting analog audio to digital and CDs to MP3s. We've even taken that extra step to show you how to make sure that the levels of your digital files are just right for digital playback. Now that you have your music library digitized, how do you manipulate it just like you're used to when you had your records or your CDs? When you were able to pan through the record crate and pull your favorite record out and put it onto the turntable, find that track you wanted and then play it, or go through your box of CDs and pick that one track out that you really enjoy, maybe speed it up, slow it down, do a little scratching with it. How do you do that in a digital world? Here's how. This is PCDJ DEX. It's made by a company out of Clearwater, Florida called Digital One Audio, who really knocked it out of the park with this great product line, not only from its features and functionalities, but also a superior support model that's right below it. And I'm not just talking about the break-fix support model that you would expect to get from any software vendor, but I'm also talking about a great third-party hardware vendor support. Being able to allow you to plug in your favorite hardware into this application and make it work in lockstep. From companies like American Audio, Stanton, Newmark, Final Scratch, Reflex, Vestex, Denon, and Serato, to name a few. So whether you're starting out in the DJ industry, just doing small events, if you're doing corporate and private events, if you're a wedding disc jockey entertainment company, if you're doing school dances, or if you're a featured DJ at a major establishment anywhere in the world, this software covers the full spectrum. So as you start up the software for the first time, if you're using any external sound cards on your computer system, you'd want to go up here and click on Options, then Options, and this is where you would set up that external or third-party sound card. You can also go in here and plug in any external controllers hardware in this area. If you want that vinyl control that we talked about earlier in your analog world and panning that over into your digital world, this is where you would set up the feel of that vinyl control in your digital world. As we look at the screen is split up into two areas, an upper and a lower area. The upper area is a dual deck CD player control, just like you would have in a dual deck CD player before you went digital. Only this has more functionality, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. The lower area is your music library area. You see some directories over here to your left, file structure here in the center, and your playlist over here to the right. To browse your directory structure, first you're going to want to connect that external drive we talked about earlier. This is where you would connect that external drive. If you want to have directories show up every single time you go into the application, those are known as favorites. You would set up your favorites here. Browse to the respective directory, click OK, it adds it into your favorites folder over here to the left. Now, if I want to open up my directory structures, it's as simple as a double click. If you have subdirectories, they will show up as well, so you have full flexibility on how you want to arrange your music library. If I click on a directory that has music in it, the music shows up here in the center. Now, if I want to load a song into one of my players, it's as simple as a click, drag, and drop, or, as you've seen just a second ago, in this area on each player, there is a load button. And you can also double click on a song and it adds it into the playlist. I find this feature very, very useful, especially when you're taking requests. So if I'm looking for a song from Justin Timberlake, as you see down here in the bottom, all I have to do is type Justin Timberlake in the search field. Any song that has Justin in it will show up. Now, if I'm looking for the song Senorita, I can double click on it then, and it adds itself into the wait list. This is great, like I said, when you're taking requests. So you can build that request list over here to the right and not miss that important song for the guest attending the event. And to go back to the original directory you were in, just go ahead and double click on it. Now, I'm going to load the song by a drag and drop method. Drag and drop it into the first player. Now, to start the song, it's as simple as pushing play. Now, if I wanted to do that scratching like we have in a vinyl world, you see scratch here. And all I have to do is hold my mouse on that and scratch back and forth, and I have the feel of vinyl on my digital file. Let the mouse button go, and the song starts playing again. Now, obviously, if you have another song playing over here, you can have that song playing and scratch this song over here. Sampling is as easy as over here in my sample area. I can do a 1 second sample, a half second sample, or a quarter second sample. It's as simple as that. Now, if I'm mixing between two songs and I need to speed this song up just a little bit to match the song of player 2, I would do it right here. And I can control the pitch range in this area right here. Now, the center of the screen at the top has a variation of your WAV files, which can show up in a couple different ways, that or this. And in this area, I can set up my areas by viewing the master output, my VSTs, my cues, and my equalization, as well as my fader. So there's a quick rundown of PCDJ DEX from Digital One Audio. It retails for $199 US and can be found at www.pcdj.com.